The fall season is upon us. The weather outside is starting to turn more grey day by day. So I thought, why not make today the most colorful day of the month by preparing some beautiful beetroot risotto. To me, it's this kind of sweet, not too sweet comfort food that becomes luxurious, like even without really trying too much. So I'm super hungry right now, so I'll just get right into cooking. So I'm just start off by preheating the oven to come on, to 200 degrees Celsius.
So, for the risotto base, I'm going to first roughly mince a bunch of garlic and shallots.
That didn't go as planned.
I really prefer using shallots in risotto because they don't take away from the other flavors in the dish, but rather complement them.
I'm crying so hard right now.
Just give them a rough chop. Next, for the beets, just cut off the ends and peel them. From here, I'm going to cut half of these into some nice wedges, which I'm going to prepare in the oven. I'm also cubing up half of them. These guys are going to be prepared with the risotto. They are going to give the dish that beautiful pink color that I'm looking for. Next, whip out that baking sheet, some parchment paper, lay in the beetroot wedges, add some salt, and throw them in the oven.
So now that our beets are in the oven, we can start making the risotto.
Heat up a medium-sized skillet over medium-high heat. Cover it with olive oil and add in the shallots. Cook until translucent. Meanwhile, we can prepare the broth. Add 1 vegetable bouillon cube to around 7 or 8 deciliters of water and bring it to a boil. Once the shallots are translucent, we can add in our garlic. Cook for a couple of minutes before adding in the risotto rice. Don't rinse the rice, just add it in as is. Now we just want to toast the rice at this point. This will kind of build a shell around each kernel, which protects them from breaking apart in the cooking process. Next, add in a good glug of any wine you prefer. This brings a nice acidity and freshness to the background of the dish. The alcohol will burn away in a couple of minutes. Next, add in the beets, some salt, dried herbs. I'm using oregano, optionally some nutritional yeast, and just mix that all together. Now we can start adding in the broth. The key thing here is not to add too much at a time. We want to be adding the liquid in gradually so that we can slowly let all those natural starches out of the risotto rice. This will result in the creamy texture that we're looking for. Make sure to scrape down any bits that get stuck on the sides of the pan. And once the risotto starts to look dry, just add in some more broth. Remember, gradually. If you add too much liquid at a time, the dish will turn clumpy and mushy. You never want to leave the risotto alone. You never leave its side. So just entertain yourself while you're at it. Dance and have fun. You don't have to be mixing the risotto constantly. Just don't let it sit for too long. If the mix gets too dry, the dish will burn very easily.
And I made this balsamic glaze yesterday. It's this kind of thick balsamic sauce. You make it by reducing some balsamic vinegar. I'm gonna show you the clips right now.
So the balsamic glaze is made by a method called balsamic reduction. You just simmer some high quality balsamic vinegar in a pot, stir it around till it becomes thick to your liking, and voila! You will never have to buy those overpriced balsamic salad dressings ever again.
Also on the side, I'm gonna be using some vegan cheese. This is some vegan parmigiano, I don't know.
So to make sure the risotto is ready, you must check the texture by tasting.
Oh yeah.
You want the risotto to leave this kind of a trail behind when you scrape the pan. Kill the heat and don't overcook your risotto or it will go from blissfully creamy to awfully mushy. Now, as a final step, I'm going to grate in a heaping amount of vegan parmesan. Just stir that in and we can get to plating. I'm going to grate on some more cheese on top and add in some slices that I cut up before. At this point, I also remembered that I had prepared the veggies in the oven. They burn a bit, but that's okay. Finally, just drizzle some of that balsamic glaze on top.
Okay, just look at that. Yep. I'm just so happy just looking at it. It's amazing. I'm gonna just get right in. Oh man. Okay, the vegan cheese, it's really coming through. When you add it in, just at the end, all the flavors are still intact, you know? It really pops out. Oh my god. The risotto rice, it's perfectly smooth. It has a bit of bite to it. The cubed beetroots had just enough time to cook, and now they're still crunchy, but they're not overly hard. And just that hint of garlic and the shallots. The acidity from the white wine brings a nice depth of flavor. On the side, we have the beetroots. This is what they look like. They got a bit burned, but I actually like them like really crisp. So this is just a real easy way when you're cooking like risotto, when you're constantly like in the kitchen. You can make something on the side. Like I could have made a million other things in the oven, but I was making beetroot risotto, so I thought, why not make some beetroot wedgies in the side. It actually goes super well. The crunchiness offsets all of the softness of everything going on with the risotto. The balsamic glaze that I have on the side, it's so nice and taut, and makes everything look like super nice also. Like, come on. Guys, this was amazing. Hoping you guys try it out. It might look like daunting to make risotto, but it's actually really easy. You just need to be around all the time, which can be a pain, but give it some time, loving and care, and I promise you the risotto will take care of you in the end. Yeah, this was fun again. Like and subscribe. That most.